Hey guys, okay, it's Dave and it is October 19th, 2014, and I want to explain the latest version we did for the Ford T to HHB. You're going to want to download the new version because it's updated. And one note I want to make before running into that is I have a separate video. It's done separately, but it completely corresponds with this video. You need to make sure to get the latest moji-crew.com/toolbars. If you go there, moji-crew.com/toolbars. Let me make this link really big for you. But the point is I have a video that explains all this. Okay, so you're going to want to look for that video. It's put up basically where the same project is put up. You just need to go there. Okay, and why do you need to go there? Because you have to get the latest version of the source workbook. That's sourceworkbook.xls. Okay, you can get it that way or download the Moji toolbar v18_2.zip. Okay, v18.2, 18.2, and you'll understand what that's all about by watching the other video. It explains how to install it and use it. Anyway, having said all that, let me come back to this. Let's say I just got done creating a website. That's the idea for a client or for myself. Okay, so I got done doing this website. Okay, and let's say this is the website. I just want to show you how this works. This works for all theme to HTML websites. So now I have like a 10 or 15 page website. That's kind of the idea. All right. And I want to take that website and Moji it. I want to make all of my pages look just like this, but I want them to show up for different keyword combinations. I want the different keywords up here in the page title, the different keywords in the meta description of the page. So here's where it says the description. Meta description is important for Google. I want my link, I want to Moji all of this and have it use the different keywords I want. And same with the page titles. And then I want the content, the body to be unique and deal with the keyword and have internal links to other pages on the site, external links to non-competitive but related authority pages, just pages that show up front and center for keywords that are related to what we do here. So that the content here relates to other content out there on the internet. And why do I want to do that? That's really, really big with Google that you do one of two things or both, and that's this. When you get a website going, you can't just have it sit in cyberspace all alone. Google doesn't care about ranking it hard for keywords, no matter what your website is, no matter who made it. It doesn't matter if it's WordPress, Joomla, Drupal, HTML. It doesn't matter how beautiful it is. It doesn't matter how new the template design is. Google doesn't care about any of that stuff, not for ranking. For ranking, Google cares about one of two things more than any other. Are you putting out more recent, that is kind of current, like in the past week, the past month, backlinks than other websites are putting out that are good? I'm not talking about thousands of backlinks. I mean 4, 8, 12, as many as like 40 is almost overkill. Okay, but just a couple of entries in different directories, something like that, or a new article on Squidoo or Dig. Now you've got to do that, or there's a big or. You need to be of value some other way, because what Google wants is interconnectivity of all the sites. It doesn't want your site sort of sitting out in the middle of space, orphaned. Okay, that's why it won't rank you. If your website's completely alone and not connected to anything out there, then Google cares a lot less about it. But if you have stuff going on your website, if you have a video, if you link to your Facebook page, if you have a couple of links in the content that are going to point to other pages out there on the internet, things like that. Okay, not your competitors, but related topics. Like for instance, if I've got a website here about real estate in Miami, I could still link out to some sites that are talking about real estate buying tips, tips and tricks, how the market's doing, latest news on the market in the area, something like that. I can link to different things. And they are not competitive, they're related. And that's what Google wants to see, that you thread your conversation with other related conversations. And people who are interested in buying are interested in staying on your site for that. People who are interested in reading about the tips can click that link. Now, the way we build it in Moji, those pages open in a new tab. All right, that way people can read the tips, close the tab, and still be back on your page. Okay, to continue. Same with any other external link. They always open in a new tab. Now, for the pages that open within your site, that's great. We just have all of that happening inside Moji. So Google wants to see either other pages connect to you or you connect to other pages, okay, on the internet. In other words, other websites connect to you or you connect to other websites. And of course, the strongest of the strong are the ones who do some of both, right? And that's cool. Now, what else is cool with Moji is we can keep adding fresh new content from time to time inside our site. That's awesome. Then whatever you do for any kind of backlinking, just get into the habit of putting something out once in a while. Force yourself to create some kind of a backlink once in a while. But beyond that, we do Mojiing on different sites as well. Now, let me come back to where we're at, because that was all the point of why we do what we do. Now, let's come back and just simply say, how do we Moji up a site once we put it up? Okay, I got this 15-page website and I want to make it into like a 200-page Moji page website that includes all of the keywords, right? You know, a page for each new keyword. And so if it's geo-targeted, if we're talking about 15 surrounding cities, and who knows, you know, there could be 200 keywords. Well, that's really a 3,000 page website I can produce. Okay, because I have a geo-targeted run that includes the cities along with the keywords. And for Google, every geo-targeted keyword is different than every other geo-targeted keyword. I'll give you an example. If you're looking for a plumber in Atlanta, Georgia, that's different than looking for a plumber in Chicago, Illinois. If you're looking for a dentist in South Bend, Indiana, that's different than looking for a dentist in the very next city over, Mishawaka, Indiana, or going the other way, maybe Elkhart, Indiana. Okay, those are completely different. From Google's point of view, geo-targeted keywords are completely different. So even if the content is quite similar, Google will show those pages for those different markets. You get it? So it's important when we do geo-targeted runs, and geo-targeting is just a great trick anyway. Anything you can take and force to be a geo-targeted run, even accidentally, even just to create the extra strength for your own website in the background. That's all strategy stuff I'll have to talk about another time. But let's start here. I want to take this website I built inside theme.html. This is the front end of it. This is how it looks. But I've got it here where I build up my websites on this subdomain, right? And I want to put that website here on another website called moji-samples.com. Right now it doesn't have anything on it. I can refresh the page. There's just nothing here. Okay, so what do I need to do? Okay, well, I built this, so I'm going to go into my admin panel, you know, where it exists. Okay, I just log in, really, and I've got it in the back end. Okay, this is that website. You know, it's exactly how that went. Matter of fact, for those who aren't exactly familiar with it, it's this simple. Just log into your administrator panel, you know, log in. If you were logged in, it'll log you in immediately. All right, otherwise you just log in. Okay, here's what is going on. I'm on that theme, I can tell. I'm on the theme I created. It happens to be this. That's what it is. And that's what I want to export. I'm going to export that. I'm going to put it over here. Okay, so here I go. I'm going to upload by FTP, and I would allow indexing for Google, Bing, Yahoo to index the pages. Okay, to put the main website up. Then we're going to talk about Mojiing it. All right, in this case, I'm just going to say no to that, right? And then absolute paths with or without URL, hover over the question mark and you'll be able to read what the choices are all about and you'll know what you're doing. Okay, here we go. FTP, moji-samples.com. Notice I haven't really spent much time. I'm just talking about getting started, right? And what I'm doing now is just explaining some basics. So there we go. That's the FTP information for logging into the site. On a host monster account, the one that we recommend, and we've got a link for you to get it. Ask us if you don't know. Okay, there's a certain link for a certain kind of an account you should get. All right, and if you do that, then this is this simple. This is the website you have. This is the logon username for the control panel for your account, and this is your password, and that's all you need. Okay, by putting that in here, we can connect to the website. See? So there it is. And then we can browse by hitting the folder, okay? But if we don't need to go inside of here, we can just simply hit this. And that's what I want, because I want the main page, okay, to show up right in the public HTML folder, which is, you know, the main page of the site. Get it? All right, so this is where all the pages should go, public HTML. Okay, I'm going to upload. And yes, I'm going to upload. Then we're going to talk about the latest, greatest for T to HHB, and you'll understand what's going on there. So this will be done here pretty soon. I'm actually doing this in real time, I guess, just so you can sort of see it in real time. Okay, that moves quick. The moment it hits, it just goes wham, and it tells you it uploaded everything, right? So now if we go back here and refresh this, guess what? There it is. There's our site. Our static HTML website that we put over here doesn't have a control panel, okay? We exported to this website. There is no control panel over here, right? This is a static site. But people could save these pages. They could download them, put them on their desktop or whatever, give them a name like base HTML. You know, you can work with the pages. They're real, okay? They're solid static HTML pages. All interconnected. Everything here works. It's all on the website. If there's an email block, it works. The YouTube video works. Like that email block will work immediately for whatever email address we plugged in, so that when people fill out an email and hit submit, it goes there. Okay. This right here is going to work, you know. All right. Everything works. It's all there. Wherever that was supposed to go, it's all there. Okay. So now we have like our 15 page or whatever it is website up. And what we want to do is make this into a full scale Moji'd website. All right. Just keep in mind that it's moji-samples.com, right? And that's just the display for whatever. Yeah, don't worry. All right. Let me just continue with this. Let's start with this. Here we go. We go to the Moji training page and we come down, and you're going to want to get this. The universal affiliate pages for T2H websites. What that does is allow us to create pages where the content is already figured out for you. It's spun content, so it's going to spin. So you're going to be able to create, well, you could create millions of pages. It's just who's going to do that? I mean, that's overkill. You're trying to upload millions of pages, and if you do that, you need, you know, lots and lots of keywords, hundreds of thousands. If you want to make a website that big, you really need to do it smartly. But all we want to do is make an appropriate sized website here. We want a page for every keyword, and we want to just start there, and that's because it's a good idea. We can do more, but let's just do that much. Okay, so we're going to go here. Okay, and this is the thing you're going to download. WAP. I'm downloading it right now. I'm going to show you how this works. So if I minimize this, and I'm assuming, okay, in this case, that you already have Moji installed, right? Like I can hit my icon for Moji and it should open, okay? Like that, okay? And there's that. And that also means that if I open Excel, I have a Moji Toolbar 18 attached to it because I did this earlier. This was part of the whole setup you did when you got Moji installed in the first place. Okay, so now this is just a new package that we did, and it's called 4T to HHB. Okay, basically what that means is it's the fourth generation of this holiday bonus package, because originally it was like a Christmas gift to everyone, this sort of thing. When it came out, it was really, really amazing to be able to do this. And so it was a Christmas gift. That's where the HB comes from. But it's the fourth generation of that. And since it's built to allow Mojiing on T2H websites, it's meant intentionally for theme to HTML websites, okay? Then it's the 4T2H HB, okay? Here we go. I'm going to right click. I'm going to hit properties first thing. I'm not even going to try to open it or anything. I'm just going to hit properties at the very, very bottom. Okay. That way, if I see a button called unblock, I can unblock it. Then I'll apply. Okay. Then I'll hit OK. All right. Now, that means that when I go to run it, it won't keep asking me, are you going to give this step permission? Are you going to give that step permission? It'll just run because I unblocked it. Okay, so I gave it permission to everything. All right, so it can do its job. All right, I'm going to move this in my C drive. If you don't know how to do that, just cut it. Go to your C drive. Here it is, C drive, right? Like C, and paste it. Now it shows up at the very, very bottom, most likely. Okay, and obviously that's out of alphabetical order if you're sorting by name. So whatever, just be aware it's at the very bottom, because I'm going to keep doing things like right-clicking over here and hitting refresh to get things in the right order, okay, because I have mine sorted by name, okay, A to Z, not Z to A. That's just me. All right, if you did have a Ford T to HHB folder, rename it. Stick on like dash old or something. If you need to save anything in there, like if you have some files in here and those files have logon information, keyword lists, and you don't want to lose them, then you don't want to override it, right? So there you go. You might just save that as old so you don't overwrite anything. All right, now I'm going to go down and I'm going to find my Ford T to HHB, wherever it is. Hello. It's in here. There it is. And I'm going to right click it, WinZip, and I'm going to extract it to here. Do not extract it to the folder of that name. It's kind of auto-generating this idea by looking at the name of the zip file. And that's going to be a mistake. The file paths will not work. I'll show you what I mean. If I go to extract it to here, okay, which is the wrong thing to do. Okay, well, first of all, it shows up at the very, very bottom. So let me hit refresh again. Okay, here it is. Now it looks right, C drive, Ford T to HHB. But when I click on it, uh-oh, I see another Ford T to HHB. That's a mistake. I have to click on it again. Okay, now I got it doubled up. There's two Ford T to HHBs. So that's how you know you did it wrong. So this will not work. These paths will not work. So we're going to come back out, okay, and we are going to delete this because it was a mistake. Okay, now let's do this again. Ford T to HHB, and we are going to extract it to here. Okay, just simply that, extract to here. Boom. Okay, now let's refresh again. Okay, puts us at the top, and now C drive, Ford T to HHB. When you go inside, everything looks right. Okay, now there's a point here where I'm going to assume that you understand some of this because you've used some kind of earlier version. All right, so I can't do all of this from complete scratch because it would just be too long. But here we go. The concept is this. You're going to choose whether you want to do a geo-targeted run, like I am going to now. I'm going to do real estate pages for Miami, Florida. That's the idea, right? I'm doing this for that run, whether it was a client or my own job. I want to take that website I just created on Moji Samples, like a 15-page website, and I want to make this into a juggernaut of a website, like 500 pages, 1,000, 2,000 pages. You know, a page for every city times keyword combination, right? You could do 2 pages for every city times keyword combination. You could do 3. If you're gutsy, you could do 5 or more. I'm not going to go that far. Okay, I'm just going to start nice and simply, like Google, index those pages, watch for Google to index those pages, and when they've indexed the majority, then I can add some more. You know, so I'm going to go with the speed Google wants to go with my website, right? Once I introduce my website to Google, let Google know it's there, which is simple. That's all just submitting sitemaps and things. Very easy. Then I'm just going to wait and watch for Google to index the majority of my pages. And when I think it's done doing that work, and if it's satisfied with that, then I can come back and do more, okay? Right? And that's moving at the right speed. When people say what's too fast, the answer is you're bogging Google down with your project. You're going faster than Google untangles your project. That's a simple way of putting it. All right, so am I doing a geo-targeted run or a no-geo run? A no-geo run would be for stuff that has no geo-target applicability, right? And you're not even trying to force it to. And there you go. Now, some strategy concepts are this. Whether it's geo or not will affect the keywords. I'll give you an example. If a keyword, okay, if I have a geo target like Chicago, Illinois, and I have another one like Atlanta, Georgia, or whatever, you know, usually people don't go that far out unless they're doing this nationwide, which they could do. All right, then if my keyword is plumber, okay, and plumbing, okay, plumbing companies, that kind of thing, company, that's great. But I don't want a keyword that says Atlanta plumber. Get why? What do you think the page would look like when it's saying something like, are you looking for an Atlanta plumber in Chicago, Illinois? See the problem? This would be the keyword. This would be the geo target, and they don't match. So the word of warning is this. If you do geo targeting, do not allow geo targets in your keywords. Either delete the whole keyword or just delete the geo target out of it. Okay, and leave the keyword. And if you have these doubled up in the list, that's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Okay. All right. So there you go. That's the only rationale I want you to understand. So, but that does open the door for this other possibility. If you do a no geo run and you do not include geo targets, that's what that would mean. There are no geo targets to be accounted for, so there's no geo target list. Okay. No city state list. Then you've just got keywords. And in the case of that, it's perfectly good to have Atlanta plumber, Chicago plumbing, whatever, because this part won't exist in a non-geo run. It's just going to be that. Are you looking for an Atlanta plumber? Are you looking for Chicago? Are you looking for Chicago plumbing? That kind of thing. The way we set the run up, this kind of thing works. And so there you have it. Right? So that way the pages will work in that case. So that's how you can have geo targets. If you're going to have geo targets in the keywords, do it like a no geo run. That's the point we're making. If you're going to do a geo run, then make sure you do not have geo targets in the keywords. Okay? All right, I've hammered on that enough. Let me continue here. Having said that, I can do any one of these kinds of runs for anything I put up. Like I just put this up, and I can do any of these 4 at any time. I can do all 4 of them at any time in any order. Doesn't matter. It's up to you. It's all strategy based. Okay. Now, word of warning here. Subdomains, that's subdomains. Okay, subdomains are different than regular folders. See, subs are subs and regular folders are regular folders. Regular folder would be moji-samples.com/ and then whatever our project is. Maybe it's geo-targeted for plumbers in whatever, northwestern Illinois or something. So I might do something like Illinois plumbers. And I'm going to be creating pages today that cover like Chicago and the surrounding area. Okay. Now, I could come back later and create more pages for plumbers that are in southern Illinois, and they can still go in this Illinois plumbers folder. That's perfectly fine. Okay? But that's a project folder. Okay? If I were to do a subdomain, that's a little bit different kind of an animal. That would look a little different. Control X. That would look something like this. Control V. Hold on. Okay? That would be like this. Illinois-plumbers. moji-samples.com. Okay, you guys have probably seen that, kind of wondered about the double dot routine if you've never seen it before. Okay, that's for subdomain runs. Obviously, this is meant to be a geo sub most likely, right? We're probably going to be creating pages that are geo-targeted to cities inside of Illinois. Okay, if I was doing something generic, it would simply be plumbers. And that goes for anything. It could be Forex software. Okay. Okay, it can be anything. Anything. Make money online now. Whatever you want. Okay. But there you have it. That's subdomains. And the only difference is between that and this is a subdomain. It's just we don't think of it as a subdomain, www. Because it goes to the same place as the root. What you cannot do is have both. You cannot have www.plumbing.moji-samples.com. That would be like 2 subdomains. That doesn't make any sense at all. That's incorrect. And by the same token, you can't do it the other way around, just to make sure you're clear on that before I get any questions on that. Okay, you cannot do that either. If you have a www. You do not have a subdomain thing going on. Nope, you're back to this. Okay, a regular project folder. No matter what it is, make money online now. Automated Forex software, Illinois plumbing, Atlanta roofer, Austin dentist, whatever. Okay, it's still a regular folder run, and that's this for geo-targeted, that for no geo-targeted, right? All right, I've made that clear. So there's that. Now what I want to do, I'm going to go into the regular geo run. I'm not going to create subdomains yet. Somebody might say, why not? Because one thing we teach all the time is that subdomains are stronger. Okay, this has a greater chance of ranking harder than regular project folder runs. However, when you first create a website, it doesn't really have enough pages in it. There's no real guts, no real material. Google doesn't understand if the majority of your website is in one subdomain folder, for example, or even many subdomain folders if you don't have pages in the main body of the website. We want to at least have, several hundred pages in the main body of the website. And so I may as well start with whatever my first project is, like Miami homes-4-sell. First thing I'm going to do is make sure I don't have that. Okay, I don't have that. That's great. That means I can use this and create pages into it without worrying about overwriting anything. I will not overwrite anything if I create pages into that project folder. So that's going to be my routine. That's what I'm going to do. All right, how do I do it? Okay, I'm going to go to Geo, and there's just a few things I need to do to pull this off. Okay, now let me make this clear. I already gathered my information and just stuck it anywhere where I could find it real quick, geo-targets. Okay, I just went ahead and got them. A great way to get geo-targets. Somebody once said, how do you do that? Especially if you're doing it for a client or somebody. How do you do it? Well, let me show you. If I go to Google and I look up this, think about this format, list of cities near Miami, Florida. I'm going to look for one I like. I like Travel Math, travelmath.com. When I go there, I get this whole list. And when I highlight the whole list, okay, copy it, stick it in a notepad, okay, let me just create it in a new notepad file, Control V. It's almost perfect. Some things I need to do, just clean up leftover spacing that doesn't make sense. And in the case of this, replace that by hitting enter, and that'll put this on the next line instead of the spaces. Okay, highlight that space, then hit enter. Blip. See? Now, just simply highlight it to make sure you don't have any like stray spaces, like weird stuff like this. And frankly, it won't matter because our software catches it. But just out of cleanliness, it's just good to do this and catch on. Notice when things are off, right? That way you can just, get better at that kind of thing. Cleanliness is really a big deal in any kind of programming. All right, I've made that clear. Okay, so there's my geo-targets. I needed a few other things, like I said. What did I need? I needed keywords, geo-targets, keywords, and I took a list of keywords, like 200 and something, 220 maybe, okay? Useful, sensible, reasonable keywords that form a tag cloud. These are keywords that I got from Google Search Keyword Tool. You can get your keywords from wherever you want, okay? And I just cut it in half. I basically went halfway down the file and cut half of them and stuck it in one file, then cut the other half and stuck it in the other file. And that way I wound up with keys 1, keys 2. That's just something that we want for our project. So I got a keys 2, and all it is more keys is the idea. And by the way, if any of them happen to match, that's not going to harm anything. That's perfectly okay. All right? That's not a problem. So yeah, you don't need to be particularly touchy about this. We're trying to canvas everything. So go ahead and get everything you want. Some of this stuff may just seem bizarre, but again, this forms a tag cloud that helps Google understand what the pages of our site deal with so that they can come up for important things. If somebody actually were to type sophisticated anything, farmhouse, mansion, cottage, bungalow, Google will tend to get a sense that sophisticated should include our website, and we're going to outrank other websites on that because we're going to have more pages about that. Same with any of these other words. We're aiming for like tag cloud combinations here. Okay, all of this. Farmhouse, mansion, manor, terrace, whatever. So it's very good that we create a website that creates a page like this in every case. It's very good. Okay, now that's for the keys. We also need the domain root. The domain root's the easiest possible thing. That is the root of the domain. http://. No trailing slash. Don't have a trailing slash. Just get rid of it. Okay, and it should have http://. It's the domain root. And you can put the www dot just to remind yourself. Remind yourself what? That this cannot be a subdomain. This cannot be Miami dot anything or Miami homes for sale anything. That would not be the root. The root of the domain is the main starting point. So that's the root. Okay? And again, no trailing slash. Remember, that should look funny if you see it. Get rid of it. Okay, there you go. So there's that. The only other thing I needed was authority links to non-competitive stuff. Okay, and the way I did that was very, very simple. I went to Google and looked up something like, I'll just do it right now. Okay, went to something like, I just thought, who is not competitive with me? And I thought, well, not competitive but related, real estate buying tips. Okay, you know what I did? I said, these are all great, great results. Google likes them. There's a lot of results to choose from. These are top players. All I need to do is right click, open in a new tab. It shows it up right here. Okay, that's this one. There I get a URL. And right click the next one, right click the next one. I'm going to do 9 of them, 3, 4. And I just kind of make sure as I glance at what it's saying that these are not competitors. They don't look like competitors. They look like news articles. They look like tips. Okay, 10 tips. All right, I'm just going to open them in new tabs. And I'm going to get like 9. Okay, that way I can go to all those URLs and copy them. Okay, I can go here and copy that too when I come back around. But what am I copying them for? So I can paste them into my list. I just paste each URL in here, wherever it goes. Like if I was continuing the list, right? Boom, just like that. And me, I'm a stickler. I'll get rid of the trailing slash. Like I say, it won't make a difference in this, but it's just good habit to learn to kill trailing slashes. They really can get in the way of programming. Okay? Hard to explain maybe. But there you go. So now I've got 3 sets. I really just copied 9. Here's what I did. I copied those 9 links in, and then I took every 3 and just put a space. Okay. Why? Because I need, hello. Yeah, don't put spaces where they don't belong. I mean, the whole thing, right, should exist the way it was, right? Boom, boom, boom. Okay, just 3. Why? Because our form is going to ask for 3. When we fill in the form, here's the reason we did all those boxes. We need a production name. That's the name of the thing we're doing, like Acme Real Estate. And we need keyword stack 1, keyword stack 2, and then external authority links. They could really be any links to anywhere. You can even make them links to pages on the same website. You can make them links to other websites you have, to pages that are related at least. Okay, and that's 3 stacks, 1, 2, and 3. So just get a relatively even split. You just need 3 stacks. Okay, do at least 2 per, at least 2, at least 2, at least 2. The more the merrier. Okay, this is good for you. This is like you are replacing all the work of backlinking by doing this thing here. Why do we need 3? Because when we create our pages, it will create 3 backlinks on the page. So it'll use something in one of the paragraphs near the top, and it'll backlink to it, and it'll choose randomly from one of the entries that you put in here. Then it'll choose randomly somewhere in the middle of your page for one of these and apply it to a keyword and link out with again, these will open in new tabs, okay, so that people can come back to your website easily. And then 3, okay, that goes in the 3rd spot, okay. It doesn't really matter which order you put them in, okay, because they're all kind of the same, all right. That's okay. They just relate to the keywords somehow. And so that's just helping us make our pages stronger for Google to see, okay. Domain route. And again, you can do backlinking. I'm not going to say that. There is no such thing as too much marketing. Okay, there really isn't. Until you can look up on your ceiling and see, you lean back in your chair and look up and you see your website and it's got a motto. And you go to your friend's house and sit in his chair and lean back and look up and you see your website and it's got a motto. And you look at the coffee cup and it's going, there is no such thing as too much marketing. Okay. All right, there you go. The domain route goes where the domain route goes. City, state list. Oh, that's it. That was our form. And that was the more complex form because it's a geo-targeted form. Okay? So I've got all this stuff open, don't I? I mean, I can literally do this whole thing right now, can I? Yeah, I can. As a matter of fact, I will. So let me do it. And when I come back here, I'm just going to close the pages to the right just to keep it lighter. Real estate buying tips, and then this, and this. Ooh, that's cool. And this. I can actually, like, close all these things. Close other tabs. Boom. Okay, I'll just get this out of my way. Okay, because what I wanted to say was this. I'm going to go back, so I can check out my site pretty soon. Okay, here we go. Let's see, keyword stack 1. I'll take one of these keyword stacks. It doesn't matter which, keywords 1 or 2. Whatever, I just need half in one, half in the other. Control All, Control C. So that's Control A, Control C. And that way I can paste them in there. Then I'll go to keys 2. Control A, Control C. Come back here. Control V is in Victor, right? Then geo targets. Control A, Control C. Come back. Go to the geo targets. That's city state list. Okay. And by the way, it doesn't matter if you have a space, if you hit enter at the end or not, that doesn't make any difference at all. Okay. So don't worry about it. Domain root. Make sure not to capture this. Well, you can. It doesn't really matter. Okay. So that's fine. Again, because you can hit enter or not. It's okay. The only rule is you cannot have a space at the top of any of these things. In other words, the first entry cannot be a blank. That will break it. So kill any blank at the top. That's the only real rule. Everything else gets auto-corrected. Okay? In other words, if I paste it and it's got some spaces here and some spaces there, it really will not matter because when I submit, it will auto-correct for that. But it cannot auto-correct for a blank at the top. That's a technical hurdle. Okay, no blanks at the top. It's got to start with something. Okay. Now, having said that, I'm still just going to be anal because it's really a good thing to teach people to be accurate. Okay. All right. Here we go. External links. Where did I put that? Ah, right there. So I'm just going to paste some of these into one of them. Okay. Boom. Some into another one. Control C. Boom. And by the way, why do I do it in sets like that? Why don't I just paste them all into one square? That's because it's going to choose the same external link 3 different times. It's going to choose, if I had this all in one square, it would choose one of these, whichever one it wants to choose for the next page, and it would paste it in the top one, in the middle one, and at the bottom one. Again, for different keywords and always pointing at just the one page. That's not strong. We want, wherever one thing points, we want the middle of the page, the external link there, to point somewhere else. And we want the one near the bottom of the page to point somewhere else. Get it? So we definitely want to split these up so that they don't accidentally get used more than once on the same page. The other reason that we want at least more than one in each of these is you do not want an external authority link to be site-wide. You don't want your entire website to have a link to one of these pages on every single page. In other words, if I create a 2,000 page website, I do not want this link to show up on all 2,000 pages. That's called a site-wide link. Google doesn't like site-wide external authority links. So by having more than one, then we diminish the percentage of pages that hold each of these things. In other words, only a third of my pages have a link there. A third have a link there. A third have a link there. And while that's happening, a third have a link there and a third have a link there. So I'm giving choice. All right. And that's what Google wants to see. And the more of this you do, the better. Hey, you know what? I filled out my form completely. You have to fill it out completely. There has to be at least one thing in each case. Okay. And you can put more than one thing in most of these boxes. Like if I wanted to have more than one production name, I could do that. All right. That's more sophisticated stuff. This is if you're creating pages for, different purposes, different resellers or franchise owners, and you're doing them into different folders, like different subdomains. It's more strategy, but we'll get to that some other time. I mean, that's just cool strategy stuff, right? You can, in the meantime, just do the runs one at a time, all right? However you want to do them. All right, I'm going to submit the form. And yep, the CSV file has been successfully updated with the data provided in this form. Okay, and close it. All right, well, I'm done with all this stuff. Let me just close it. Okay, I can save it or not. Just whatever. I can save it or not. Just whatever I want. Boom. All right, I did that part. Okay, that's the part where I filled in the form. Now, really, that's step 3, but I wanted you to see you could do that now. It's not going to hurt if you do it first. Okay, so we happen to do step 3 first. Let me start with step 1. Notice you see step 2, 3, and 4. 4 is simple, you just press the button to run it. 3 was the hardest individual thing we had to do. Okay, that was the most work. That was getting geo-targets, authority links, and keywords, and the domain route. Okay, that was the most complex part of the whole job. I showed you the hardest part first. Okay, the rest of this is simple. In every one of these folders, let me just start up here again. Whenever you make a choice, you go in. Every one of these folders has a keywords folder and then something right below it, like TLD Geo. Or for instance, keywords then what? TLD Geo it says anyway. What about this? TLD no geo. TLD no geo subs. Don't worry about the folder name. Just realize that that's the first step. Okay? 4, 3, 2, therefore that must be 1. And it is, it's 1. So I'm going to go in here, and all you need to know is that there's a step 1. This is it. You don't really need to think about these files. You just need to know there's a step 1. Okay? If I click it, here's what I'm going to do. Now, we built this, and you'll understand expandability later as you get into more of the videos that we do, unless you already understand it now. You can do these runs in such a way that you can put them on, you can do different kinds of runs on the website. You could do runs on different websites, but it's not recommended to do it that way with the 4T to HHB. So if I wanted to do a run on Moji-samples, because that's my top level domain, that's one I want to do. Okay, I'll start at the top. If I want to do a bunch more runs into different folders, then I could take this and bring this down. I could make copies down here with the same username, the same password, but different project folders, different names like Miami homes for sale, Miami real estate for sale, whatever. I could create multiple folders in the same website in a single step. Okay, I can do that. It's more complex. Let me just keep it simple. So first rule of thumb, do not touch anything in the first column. That's the way it's always been. Just leave this here. This is sort of your key identifiers, and they need to stay this way. Just leave them alone. The other rule, don't kill the header row because we need everything that's up here in the header, right? Just replace the main stuff. All right, here's what it is. mytld.com really is saying my top level domain.com. For example, moji-samples.com. Now, this does not say http://mytld.com. Take that as a hint. This should just be the domain. No www. No http://. Just simply the domain. And do not put a trailing slash. So if you pasted this in here and it came out like this, okay, all right, you pasted it in there like that, double click on here and clean it up. Get rid of everything that doesn't belong there, okay? Just keep it nice and simple, okay? All right, I need the username. Again, this is the same thing. This is that host monster package we offer you. If you don't have it, double check with us so we make sure we get you the right link so you know what you're getting, okay? Here we go. The username is this, Moji-Sam. It just happens to be mine. That's how I log on to my host monster account here at Moji-Samples. That's how I log on to my website with the username and the password, which right now is a temp pass, so I can show you what's going on. Temp pass 5. Okay, that's just so you can see what's going on. It's not my usual password. I'll change it obviously after the video. Okay, here we go. My project folder. Project folder 1. Remember, it was this, Miami homes 4 sell, right? Now, cool thing is I already checked to make sure that moji-samples.com / Miami homes for sale doesn't exist. You remember? That is exactly what was going on, and that is what we're building now. Miami, okay, homes for sale, okay? Nothing there. There will be though, if I go running this out and make it a big site. File count. This can be as many files as I want. Word to the wise, don't spam decks. If you have 200 keywords, and especially if you're starting a site out fresh, just make like 200 pages, really. If you have, 500 keywords, make 500 pages. If you have 1,000 keywords, make 1,000 pages. Do not take 50 keywords and make 2,000 pages. That's going to be an issue called spam dexing, where you have too many pages per keyword, okay? So I've got like a couple of hundred keywords in there. I could go a couple of hundred pages. Now, boom. Now, this is the next thing. Okay, and it says upload true or false. Okay, so this is obviously going to be where you say true or false. Now, when we first do the run, we might not want to upload the pages. You see, we want to make sure the run comes out right, everything looks good, we didn't miss anything or forget anything important. And so we don't want to put the pages up at first, maybe. We just want to run them out on our computer and look at them on our computer and make sure they look right, because we can delete them very quickly on our computer. They're going to go into one folder called Miami Homes for Sale. We can just delete the folder. Once you upload the pages to your website, they're harder to work with. You have to go out of your way to log into the website to get to the folder and delete it. Get it? So first we want to make sure they look good, and then we want to come back and turn this on. Make this say true. Now, when you switch between true and false, you got to keep in mind one thing. See how weird this is written to let you know and remind you what's going on? It says this is uploading. It says true or false. Notice how it has an apostrophe before the word in each case. Any idea why the apostrophe exists? You probably know, but if you don't, here's what it is. In Excel, let's say I deleted this. Okay, in Excel, there is a command called true or false. And so if you just type true in here and hit enter, it did something weird with it, didn't it? Well, guess what? That is going to break the project from running, because this is being treated like an Excel formula instead of text that has to do with the final macro, or well, the final profile that we're going to get to. Okay, this should be text. All of this is text-based. This should be text-based, but it's not. It's an Excel formula and has nothing to do with the file we're going at. So when we try to create the file by running the macro, it cannot do it right. It puts the wrong thing in there. It's gobbledygook, strange Chinese script. It doesn't work. Okay, so we have to tell Excel that this is not supposed to be a formula. It's supposed to be text. The shortcut for doing that is to start off with an apostrophe. And that is what tells what tells Excel that whatever you write next, like capital T, R-U-E, enter, is just text. As a matter of fact, it knows that so well it even hides the apostrophe for you. See, it's up here, but it's not here. It's just up where you see what's going on in the cell, but it's not in the output. Okay, that is true for all of these. They all have that apostrophe at the very, very beginning. That's why this is reminding you to put that apostrophe in the capital T or apostrophe in the capital F. Okay. Another example where that comes in handy is if you've got like a passcode that starts with an ampersand, and it's like ampersand gobbledygook, and you try to hit go, and it says, hey, that function is not valid. And you go, oh yeah, I'm going to put an apostrophe first. Then it's fine. It works. It'll do the job. See it? Okay, clear. I obviously don't want that there. Save. All right, so what I do? Very simple. I open this file, just stuck in the domain name where I'm going to put the pages. Obviously, it's in the same place where I put the original site, right? This. So that's where the pages are going. It's going there with the username and the password, the project folder name. For subdomain runs, this would be called my subdomain, and that would be the subdomain. Subdomain.moji-samples.com. Okay, that's how I know I'm in the right spot. This is my project folder. Okay, I'm going to create however many files, and I'm going to say upload true or false. Remember, apostrophe, false. I'm going to do false at first to make sure it looks right. Okay, I'm going to run that macro, browse, get that thing, just grab it. Okay, tilde-geo.pfl. You shouldn't see anything else. If you do, if you see more and they're numbered, just take this simple short one, the shortest possible one, because it's the default. It's the right one. Okay, and we hit submit. Boom. And we hit OK. All right. Now when we run the macro, oh, well, we did run the macro. Let me show you what that means. By the way, you won't normally deal with any of this until you get more advanced and you know what you're doing. Okay, we'll just close it. Now, I now have taken this and using the information that was in here, okay, using this information, I created all 10 of these. Now, again, we build it for 10 so people can learn how to expand quickly as they get good at this. But in my case, I'm not going to want any of these extras. So if I were to delete TLD files, it would delete all 10 of these that I just created. So let me, if you hit that, you're going to actually have deleted everything and be right back where you started, which is where this normally starts, okay, like that. So just to remind you, open, put in website, username, password, project folder, pages, true or false. That's easy, right? That's really easy. Then run the macro, browse, get it, and submit. Okay, close. Now, I could go up and continue with 2, 3, and 4, but when I run 4, here's what it's going to do. It's going to think, okay, it's supposed to run every single one of them, okay, because it's hard-coded to run them all. And that's okay because they're all set to false anyway. It's just going to take a little time, like 30, well, whatever, 20 seconds for each of these things to run. If I don't want them to run because I'm not going to use them, the only one I really set up was the first one, right? It's the only one I did. I'm not going to use these other ones. I can leave them in there. That's simple. Or just a quick advanced step for those of you wondering. Here's the quickest way to get rid of all the other ones. I would take this delete. You can copy it, just to make sure you don't screw with the real one. Hit paste. Now you can, well, you don't even have to worry about it. You could just deal with that if you wanted. Just remember, edit. Well, open with Notepad or open with even Notepad++, whatever works for you. Word might be weird. So if you hit edit and it opens with Word, that's kind of weird. It should open with Notepad. Okay, so open it with Notepad one way or the other. I want to delete. See how it says delete this one, delete the next one, delete the next one. I want to delete all of them except for the first one. So the quickest way is to comment that out. Turn it into a comment instead of a command. The way to do that is / space. Now something like that breaks it because see, that's not a real function. This thing cannot run if it starts like that. When the computer tries to read this line to see what it's supposed to do, it'll say, I have no idea what this is supposed to do because this isn't anything. I can't act on it. Therefore, I cannot act on the line. Therefore, I will ignore the line. That's why it's a comment. It's for people to write in, hey, this is what this is for, blah, blah, blah. So it'll just go to the next one and see if it can execute that. And it can in this case, because I did not comment that out. If I did, I would just, do that. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to comment the first one out and delete the rest. Wow. See how cool that is? All right. So you can do whatever you want with that. You can rename it or anything, delete what I want, delete bottom 9. That bad. Okay? That's cool. Anyway, we have this. That's what we needed. We needed at least one of these, and we built it. We built the one we wanted, so we can go putting all the pages up on here, right? As soon as we prove them out. Now, step 2. Step 2 is to actually import this page. Okay? We need to import it so we can work on it in here. Now here's how this is done. Just click, Emoji Toolbar 18, import the web page, and we just type it in. Again, just the basic page, no HTTP, just emoji-samples.com. Hit enter again, hit enter again, and that's it. Close. And you can save it or not. It doesn't make any difference. You could even just hit enter again. Okay, there you go. Now, what did it do? It created this. This is index.html. Okay, and if I open it, okay, I don't need to open it, but if I did, guess what? It's perfect. It's an exact replica with all the links working properly. See, it's on our computer. It's not online. It's on our computer. But everything works. Okay, if I go there, it'll go to the website. I mean, all the links are correct. Okay, everything does what it's supposed to do. Okay, wherever it's supposed to go, it'll go. Okay, there we go. So it's perfect. It's an exact copy. When I flip between these, they don't look any different at all. Okay, so anyway, let me just go back to where I was. Okay, you did not need to open it and look at it. You just could, if you wanted to see it, make sure it looked right. Okay. And remember, it will look wrong until you get that source workbook.xls, like I said, from the emoji-crew.com/toolbars. And again, I've got another video that explains it. It's like a 3.5 minute video. It just says, stick it in the right place. Okay. And then your pages look right when you open them. All right. Now, having done that, we have done step 1, step 2, and we already did step 3. That's, when we got all the stuff in there, the geo targets and keywords and everything. So we are done. Only word of warning, just to remind you, when you fill out the form, you must fill out all the blanks before you submit it. Do not leave any blank or this thing will break. Okay, you have to put something in every spot before you hit this button. Okay. All right. Now, having said that, I am ready to roll, and I can hit run, and it's going to run. And it won't take long because we're only doing like a couple of hundred pages in one spot. Okay. And this is real time, actually, if you think about it. There. Everything is back to normal. Everything is the way it was before, except if we go to Z pages produced, okay, these are pages produced, and the reason I have a Z, of course, is just to make sure that this folder shows up at the bottom instead of just under P, like in the middle somewhere, which would be harder to find, right? That's why I put Z's on these things. These are just useful, and they're at the very bottom, okay? Pages produced, wow. And guess where we are? Miami homes for sale, okay? And if I look, it's got all the pages in there. Folders full of pages. If I want to look at any one of them, I can just go. I can even dig deep, see how far it can go. When I open up, okay, wow. Complete and solid. Everything works. The forum works, the video works, everything works. It's got our external links, leader in our field, that goes to one of the external links. If I click it, it goes to that external link. That's what it's doing. Awesome. I can read about it. I can get interested or not, but when I click it off, I'm back where I started. That's what Google wants to see, is that you have those links. Got another one. Goes to another website. Well, this one's an internal link. It actually goes to another page in the same website. Okay. Some of these need to be internal links in the content. Okay. And that's what's happening. So this is another internal link. Okay. And then if we keep going, here's another external link. If I click it, it goes to a different external web page. Okay. There you go. And this is cool. Tips on buying your first Wisconsin home, for instance. Okay. Fine. And we continue. Now, that'd be great for Wisconsin, and it's still okay even for here. Google really doesn't care that much, right? It's still about tips for buying a home. Okay, it doesn't have to be that exact. But if I wanted to, I could have put tips for buying a home in Miami. Okay, that would have been fine. Now, another internal link goes to another link in the same website. And then finally, an external link that goes completely somewhere else. That is what we want to do. We want this arrangement because this is what Google wants. Okay, and so this is good. This makes your pages authority pages, makes your website strong. All your pages are going to have combinations like that, but they're going to be different external link combinations from page to page and different external links from page to page. None of them are site-wide. You get it? So this is absolutely cool. Google likes that kind of work, and we're providing it. Okay, and this is really all you had to do to turn a 15-page website into a juggernaut of a website, however big you want it. The only other two things right now is this. Now that I'm happy with that, now that I'm happy that that was done, then what I can do is just go back. Okay. Hello, I'm just trying to go back. Get back where I was, which is forward T to HHB 1Geo. Okay. I'm cool with it. I like it. Now I want to actually make it real. So I am straight going to go in here again. And what am I going to do? I'm going to open this thing. This time I'm going to make this true. Apostrophe TRUE with a capital T. Run the macro, browse, go. And I might even change the file count before I do it. I might say, good, now I want to do 2,000 pages or 1,000 or whatever. It just depends on the keywords you have and the geo targets. In my case, Take your keywords times geo-targets when you do geo-targeted runs. Geo-targeted runs allow you to make much bigger websites without spamdexing. If you have 200 keywords, but you have 15 cities, I can make this number 3,000 if I want. I don't need to. It's kind of good to walk slowly and carry a big stick and sort of climb the ladder in chunks. Start slow, speed up later. That way your website, your new website, Google can analyze it and say that's appropriate, it's modest, it's the right size, it's got a page per keyword, the right size. There is no, the right size means the right page, right number of pages, but the right size means, a page per keyword. How's that? Okay. Or in the case of a geo-target, again, you can go further. Just kind of start low and then juice it up. Improve the number and run the run again. Literally run the run again with a bigger number, and that's perfectly fine. All right, and so I'll say that's good. Submit, completed, close it. I can save it or not. I may as well save it, but it's not going to matter. It's up to me. And then I can delete the bottom 9 if I just want. Because I figured out how to create it, copy that, and then just go in there and comment out whatever you're not going to use. Remember? That's simple. And then come up and just do your import of the web page, fill in your form, and run it. Well, in this case, all I had to do was change that to true because step 2 does not. Okay, step 2 does have to be done again. That's true because we have to recreate our index.html before we hit run. There has to be an index.html before we hit run. If I try to run it now, it'll error out and tell me no good. Watch, it'll just say, take a look, runtime error and debug. I don't need to debug anything. I just had to remember to hit import page first. But then, okay, hit import page and import it, right? Emoji toolbar, import, emoji-samples.com, enter, close, enter. And then I do not need to fill in the form again because the information was already updated on the CSV file. That's this one. Whatever CSV file, there's only one in here. Okay. And if you open it, you'll see that all these fields are filled in. And so there's no blanks or anything. And they look right. They look like, the sort of thing I'm doing, right? They look like they have to do with the stuff that I was setting up. Okay, that's the reason for the form. It simplifies you filling this stuff in manually. All it does is make it easy to fill in the CSV file for you with the right data. Okay, so now I can run it. And if I run it, it'll take probably, it puts up like 2 pages a second if your internet speed's as fast as mine. So it would take like 100 seconds to put it up, and then it'll be live. Okay, so I can run it, but I can even pause it and then come back and check it out. Now, one thing I want to do also, okay, and I'll let you do it. At this point, it's going to work because I know that I know that this information is correct. And so it will work. The website, along with the username and the password, I checked them. I could go to HostMonster and log into my website by using the control panel login and entering this and this, and I logged in. That meant that this is the right information. There's no question about it. So your pages will get uploaded. Everything will work. Unless your license doesn't work. If you open it and it says your license is in use or your license key has not been activated or anything like that, then get a hold of me. Shoot me an email. And that way we can, figure out the problem and fix it. Okay? All right. So the only other thing, there's one last thing you want to make sure to do. Can't have orphan links. If we have all these pages are going up on emojisamples.com, right? We're going to put all this Moji run up. We have to have a link to the sitemap on the original page. That way when you click it, it goes to the main sitemap, which is going to have all the links that you're about to generate. Okay? That's a page that is called moji-sitemap.html. So we need this page. Okay? And in order to do that, we would have done that in the beginning. And if you forgot, you can recreate it real quick. Oops, not there. Let me go here. Let's say I forgot it. Okay, well, I can fix the problem. Okay, let me just log into the admin panel. And before I export the project again, which will override all the pages, I need to make the one adjustment to the page, right? Home, that's the main page, and just go to the bottom of the project. And let's say this wasn't here. Okay, I didn't have the link the way I was supposed to. The question is, how do you do it? Here's the answer. Hit enter a few times just to get it down and out of the way. Type in some word. You could type in sitemap. You could type in related, whatever. Now, what can you do? You'll take your word and you'll add a link to it. And that'll be like, do this slash moji-sitemap.html. That'll work. Okay. Now, there it is. It's kind of bigger than I want, and it's blue. Let me see if I can do a little more with that. I also want to put it out of the way on the right, maybe. So I'm going to stick it on the right, maybe. I mean, it's up to you at this point. And I'm going to make it a little smaller, like font size 11. Not too small. Google doesn't like it if it's too small. And I'm going to go in here and make it like a gray, kind of out of the way color. Okay. And if it doesn't work so directly, then do it the other way around. Like watch this, because it depends on which command came first, second, third, right? Like I highlight that and make this gray, and it didn't want to take it. Still looks blue. That's because the gray command is on the outside of the link. Watch this. Here's another way to do it. So just remember the order, right? I'm just showing you in case you get it out of order, like if you put the link first. Ready? Watch sitemap. Okay. I'm not going to do the link until I get done with the other formatting. Sitemap. Highlight it. Size is 11. Color is down. Grayish. Okay. I'm going to stick it over on the right. Okay. Highlight it. And then put the link on it. Slash moji-sitemap.html. That's all I need. Okay. And then update. Now, if I want, I can just double check it. It was the home page I edited, so I can just hit this to open it, a new tab, and go look. Yep, that is correct. That is right. Okay, and right here, it's going to say it's on t2hfindlocally.com moji-sitemap. See if I click it, it thinks it's supposed to go here. But that's why I just did the relative URL slash moji-sitemap, because that's all it's going to need. When it goes to the new site, then this is just going to be replaced with the new site, moji-samples.com. And then it'll be that page, which, because we're putting the pages up, is going to suddenly work. There will be a link here. It's clickable. You can click on it. It's a master sitemap with sitemaps in it with the pages in those. You'll see. It's a hierarchical sitemap. It's really, really cool. Okay, so I got that done. Now all I have to do, export, and just do it again, and it'll overwrite the pages. So you would hit allow indexing. I'm not going to because I'm just doing temporary projects and I'm taking them down all the time. So it's no good for Google when my site keeps completely changing into other things. That's my tester site, Moji Samples. It's just a place I put dummy projects. So I don't want Google indexing it. So I just say no in my case. But you have to have indexing on if you want Google to comb through your pages and get to put them in the index. If you say no, you are ordering Google not to index the pages, and so your pages will not show up on Google by definition. Okay, so do put yes if you're putting up a project you're done with and you mean to put it up. Okay, all right. Moji-samples.com, Moji Samp. And then the password, connect. Right there, that's the way it looks, that's right. And it does have a slash on the end. In this case, it has to have a slash on the end. Just keep it in mind. All you had to do was hit this to get it to show up, right? I hit it and it shows up. If I went in the folder and I wanted to put the pages somewhere deeper, I could hit something else and see how it adds to it and puts a slash at the end. That's right. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't. I just want that. Okay. Because I want it on the main page. All right. So I'm going to upload. Okay. Yes. Okay. There we go. It's all done. So I can just sign out and get out of here, you know, and I can go back to see it. Okay. I might need to refresh the page or something. Like if I didn't see it right away, I could refresh. See, below it's called related, now it's called sitemap. It doesn't matter what I call it, as long as it points to the right place. This is the right place as soon as I actually upload the files. Okay. All right, there you go. That's all you needed to know. Okay. All you needed to know. So I got this set to true. So it will upload this time. Came out. I did step 2 again. I don't have to do step 3 again because this never got changed, right? Since the last time, it's always good. It's just if I want to do some new project, I have to do step 3, obviously, for a new project, a whole new thing. And then I just run it. And I won't because I've got another video to produce. But that's all you do. You just run it and let it run until the command prompt window's closed down. And then just go check your work. Go check your own sitemap. Make sure it's live. Make sure everything works. And go check out your pages. You're going to be happy with them. All right? There you go. It'll be the same thing as this. All the pages that were there. It's just that they will be online. Okay? And clickable and everything. And all you have to do is submit your sitemap to Google. We got videos for that if you need them. All right, there you go. That's the new 4T to HHB, and it works just the same way whether you do 1 geo, 2 geo. The only difference between that and subs is you have to go out of your way to create the subdomains separately. For anyone that hasn't or that didn't know about this, let me just make one point real quick. Kind of close other tabs and just make this real quick. There is something called that we have that's awesome, awesome little tool called bulk subdomain creator.com. Okay, bulk subdomain creator, right? This is an awesome, awesome tool for actually being able to go. Here's a video for it that shows how it works, and it creates those subdomains that help you rank much more powerfully. And you can create 10 at once easily. And so you can do like 10 subdomain projects that are geo or no geo at once. You know, you can go in that folder and hit step 1, and you can do a bunch of these, create a bunch of these, and there'll be subdomain folders. And you can actually create a whole stack at once. You can create 100, you know, you can create a ton. You can even delete them in stacks just real quick. Check mark the ones to delete and hit go, and boom, they'll all go at once. That is dramatically faster than doing it manually. And for those of you who create lots of subdomains, you actually understand the value of that. Again, the link is this. This is an awesome little tool. Okay, you're gonna love it. And what it means is you install it in one place, and you can create subdomains on any websites anywhere in the world as long as they're using cPanel. That means HostMonster, HostGator, Just My Host, you know, all SEO Host or whatever it is. There are lots and lots and lots and lots of them. Okay, all the mainstream guys, even GoDaddy. Okay, you can create the subdomains easily. Okay, it doesn't work with Plesk, but it does work with anything cPanel based, which is again most websites. Pretty much any website where you can log into it like this. Whoops, like that. All right, there you go. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you find this interesting. You know, go back and check out our other videos, get into more depth. If you get up in the forums and watch some of the videos there, especially over the earlier renditions, the 3T to HHB and stuff, where we literally taught how to get deeper and how to do way more things. Really awesome to catch up on that and understand how much more there is to it. This is really just an update video. It's a comprehensive one for beginners. But when we first created the concept of 3-mode GHB and 3T to HHB, they're similar to each other. It's just 3-mode GHB uses the universal affiliate page that we had before. That's the big old black page. Again, you know, I'm just trying to do something like this. Okay, industry leaders. Okay, that's this. And that has a one call to action image. And when you click it, it takes you to whatever website you wanted it to go to. Okay, and all of this page is set up with internal links and external links. Just the same way, the same stuff that Google wants to see, internal links and external links. Okay, and that allows us to put up referral pages with images for anyone. This could be for a plumber, a landscaper, doctor, or dentist, lawyer. And when you click it, it goes to that plumber or dentist or doctor or lawyer website. Okay, because that's the way that project's set up. Okay, so we need an image and we need a link. Okay, and we just sprinkle in our keywords and stuff here. External authority links here. Okay, and we create those. That's the 4-mode GHB. The biggest difference between that and the 3-mode GHB is that all the content's been completely rewritten. So it does the same purpose, but with new pages, completely new pages. 3-mode GHB was used for probably, I don't know, 80 million, 100 million pages total. Okay, so that it's kind of gotten old. But the 4Emoji HB, that's like brand spanking new. There are only a few thousand pages out there using it so far. Okay, so it's absolutely awesome and it works incredibly well, and it's set up for all the recent SEO requirements and what Google would like to see from you. So everything about it is very, very cool. All right, I hope you find this stuff interesting. Get in, look around, watch videos, see what they do, and yeah, you have a lot of power. With this stuff, you have a great deal of power. You can now go create a T2H website for yourself or a client or anyone, and then very easily use the 4 T2H HB to make that project very large. Last thing I forgot to mention, you can go to your folder. This just makes life a little easier, and I'm sure you know this already. Right-click it and send a link to your desktop, right? And that way, you can get to it right from here. Wow. Any new website you create, you can just suddenly do it. And if you simply change themes and start working with a new theme and you export that, yeah, absolutely. You can go in here and work with that new theme. This works with any T2H website, okay? I just want to make that point clear. I mean, I think you got it. But if I won't go here, you know, there are sample themes right here, okay? Right here. And any of these I wanted to, I could go here to this chakra body, this chakra yoga website, and I could do the same thing. I can make emoji run for this the same way. The 4T to HHB run, I can do it for this. I can do it for another one, you know, any of these at all. You know, I could do it for this one just as easily. It's the exact same steps. You know, go get some keywords, get some authority links, bring them in, get the domain root. And geo-targets if they apply to that particular run. And you can create all the pages that get all the stuff up front and center, keyword after keyword after keyword after keyword for people. And that way, any keyword somebody searches for on Google and they click that page, it brings up a page that looks an awful lot like this. It's got all this stuff at the top that you really want people to see and click on. It's got the left sidebar with whatever it says over there. And the only content that really changes is the content body in here. This is the part that gets emoji, okay? The part that gets varied. And the page title and the meta description, okay? But everything else is the same, and it's clickable. It all works. It takes you where it's supposed to take you, okay? And so you can do that for any websites, all right? Any T2H website you create. And that's the point. All right, guys. You can even do it for landing pages if you're trying to create landing pages for affiliates, resellers, whatever. You could do it. You could find a way to, whatever you want to do, geo-target or create links with affiliate links in them. You know, when you get into emoji and understand how it works, it's absolutely awesome power you have. I could make this work for 1,000 different affiliates. I could make a column on my CSV file where I have a var where this clicks to, and I put all of those affiliate links in there. And as I generate the pages, it's going to swap between them. So I get pages for each guy's different affiliate link. That's wild, huh? So if you want to sell like $100, you know, and create like 100 landing pages for each of 10 different guys, you know, that's $1,000 you can make, and you can produce them all in one step. Really, you can do it. You know, you can do it. That's why we set up the files the way we did. You can create the separate folders for a different folder for each guy times 10 projects using each guy's different affiliate link. You know, you can do that too. There's so many ways to do it. Okay, hope you find it interesting.